Ducati Lenovo rider Francesco Bagnaia once again found himself in a difficult position after failing to secure a direct spot in Q2 during the 2025 Malaysian Grand Prix weekend at Sepang. Despite high expectations coming into the weekend, the Italian could only manage 12th place in Friday's combined practice times, clocking a best lap of 1M58.206s, just outside the crucial top 10 cutoff. Bagnaia later admitted that a costly strategic mistake late in the session affected his final result. "The track helped a little, but the feeling wasn't great," Bagnaia explained. "At the end of the session, I made a mistake by going out too late from the pit lane and could only complete 2 laps. That's something we need to fix tomorrow." The Ducati star also revealed that his current feeling on the Desmosedici GP25 is far removed from what he experienced during pre-season testing at Sepang earlier in the year. "The sensation now is completely different from the pre-season test. The data we collected back then doesn't really match what we're feeling at the moment. Still, I'll be satisfied if we can fight for a top 7 finish tomorrow. It's not where we want to be, but it's a realistic goal for now." However, beneath Bagnaia's calm words, the tension within the Ducati camp seems to be growing. The Italian hinted that the current technical direction of the team may no longer be centered solely around him. Interestingly, Marc Marquez's arrival appears to have shifted the balance inside the Bologna factory's garage. Despite public claims of good chemistry between the two, the internal atmosphere reportedly feels more divided than before. Bagnaia insisted that Marquez's presence has actually been helpful, not intimidating. "It's not pressure from Marc," he clarified. "He's been helping a lot, especially with how he understands the Ducati. It's a shame he won't be at the Valencia test because that could have been very useful for us." Marquez, recovering from a shoulder injury, is set to miss the crucial post-season test in Valencia, something Bagnaia sees as a setback, not only for his teammate but for the whole Ducati program. "His absence will be a loss for us, but it's important that he focuses on recovery. It would be risky to come back too soon," Bagnaia added. Those comments have sparked intrigue in the paddock. It's unusual for Bagnaia, who has long been the cornerstone of Ducati's MotoGP project, to openly admit that another rider's input has become essential. The statement has only fueled speculation that Ducati's technical staff are now placing greater trust in Marquez's feedback to shape the 2026 prototype. Several insiders in the paddock have suggested that Marquez's unique riding style and adaptability have impressed Ducati's engineers. His feedback reportedly accelerated several development updates earlier this season, potentially making him the go-to rider for the factory's evolution program. Adding to the intrigue, Bagnaia also commented on the growing rumours surrounding Nicolo Bulega, who has been tipped as a potential stand-in for Marquez in the final races of the season at Portugal and Valencia. Rather than dismissing the idea, Bagnaia welcomed it with measured optimism. "We spoke with Bulega last weekend at Jerez. We didn't talk about MotoGP directly, but it would be great if he could test the Pirelli tyres for us next year," he said, suggesting Ducati may already be thinking long-term about how to integrate their superbike champion into the MotoGP setup. Bagnaia's words reveal more than just frustration from a difficult Friday. They expose a deeper shift in Ducati's internal dynamics. The Italian appears increasingly aware that his position as the team's leading voice may be under quiet challenge. Marquez's influence, both technically and psychologically, has become impossible to ignore. His rapid adaptation to the Desmosedici, combined with his world-class experience, seems to have earned him significant credibility within the Ducati engineering department. For Bagnaia, this presents a delicate balancing act. On one hand, he recognizes the benefit of Marquez's input. On the other, it's hard to ignore the sense that Ducati's faith might be drifting towards the Spaniard, especially as the team looks to maintain its dominance amid growing competition from KTM and Aprilia. As the MotoGP season edges closer to its conclusion, all eyes will be on how Bagnaia responds both on track and within the garage. Can he reassert himself as Ducati's technical and emotional leader, or will Marquez's growing presence reshape the hierarchy in red? One thing is certain, the Ducati paddock is no longer a place of quiet stability. It's a pressure cooker, and the next few races could determine not just results, but the internal balance of power for the season ahead. Beyond the surface, the growing sense of unease in the Ducati camp could mark the beginning of a subtle internal rivalry. While both riders continue to speak respectfully in public, several insiders have hinted that there are already two distinct approaches emerging inside the garage. Bagnaia relies on precision and data-driven adjustments, while Marquez brings instinct and aggression, two philosophies that rarely coexist without friction. If Ducati's engineers are increasingly aligning their setup direction with Marquez's aggressive riding feedback, Bagnaia could find himself in unfamiliar territory. His trademark smoothness, once the perfect match for Ducati's refined power delivery, now appears slightly out of sync with the evolution of the GP25. This technical divergence might explain his recent inconsistency in extracting performance from the bike, particularly in hot and high-grip conditions like Sepang. What's even more fascinating is how Ducati's leadership seems to be managing this dynamic. Team principal Davide Tardozzi and general manager Gigi Dall'Igna are known for balancing egos within a high-performance environment, but the arrival of Marquez has introduced an entirely new variable, one that demands both control and flexibility. Ducati's future success could hinge on their ability to keep two elite riders aligned under one philosophy without allowing internal politics to take over. Meanwhile, the paddock atmosphere around Ducati has become noticeably more intense. Rival teams are watching closely, sensing potential instability. KTM, Aprilia, and even Yamaha, now testing their V4 prototype, are ready to exploit any sign of weakness. A distracted Ducati, burdened by internal tension, could inadvertently give their competitors a window of opportunity in the final stretch of the season. From a sporting perspective, Bagnaia's situation also carries a psychological weight. After years of being Ducati's central figure, he now faces the reality of sharing not just the garage, but also the spotlight. Maintaining composure under such circumstances requires extraordinary mental resilience, the kind that will determine whether he can bounce back or fade under the growing influence of Marquez. As MotoGP heads towards the decisive flyaway rounds, all eyes will remain fixed on the Scarlet Garage. Will Ducati's dual-star experiments strengthen their dominance or ignite the kind of internal rivalry that once tore other great teams apart? For now, the answers lie in the performances to come, and in how Francesco Bagnaia responds to the new hierarchy forming around him.